Hello, my name is Adam Savage and today we're learning my top 10 tips for learning piano. Tip number 1, you must believe in yourself that you will get better, that it is inevitable. I think that learning piano is something like learning how to read or write. Unless you have some serious brain issues, you can do it. And you may not be at the level of Glenn Gould or whoever, but you can get like pretty good, like just as you can get pretty good at reading and writing, if you just stick with it and keep going with it. So believe in yourself. You're gonna hit some walls and times when you're gonna think, I'm never gonna get better, but if you stick with it, jump around and do some of these other tips, you will improve. It is inevitable. Tip number 2, you must practice every day. Every day, without fail. You must be doing something to improve and expand and open your mind into that area so that you will keep growing and improving. Even if you do a small amount, it's better than nothing. At first, just set yourself a small 20 minutes a day. Just commit for 20 minutes. Just sit yourself down in front of the piano and work on whatever you're working on. And just do that at least every day. You're gonna find with time that 20 minutes becomes a lot more because you're gonna have so much fun, you'll just lose track of time. But at first, just sit down and get into it for 20 minutes. You can do that. I know you can. If you're traveling and you don't have your piano, I know it's difficult sometimes, but use some alternative like an app or something that lets you learn theory or something to get your head in that space and stay a musician, practice singing, whatever. Just do your musical practice every day. Tip 3, find good teachers. You need to expose yourself to people who are really good at piano and who are good at explaining how they got there. This is my attempt in this video, but I do not have nearly as many videos out there as some people. There's a lot of great people on YouTube. I tend to prefer books and real people. So whatever works for you though, there's all kinds of options nowadays, apps, things. You can't imagine how many things there are. So just find whatever works for you and what you find is right for your level of knowledge and sink your teeth into whatever knowledge they have and whatever help they can give you, because having a good community of teachers will help you so much. Friends, other aspiring learners, everybody is working on different things, so absorb from many different sources and keep your mind open to new ideas. Tip 4, play on a good instrument. It can be a real piano. I am working on a digital keyboard now and I love it. It's so much better than my old one, which did not have weighted keys. So for the first few years, I didn't have weighted keys and it was slowing me down so much. So get a good instrument. You may have to pay a few $100s more at least, but it's worth it, so much worth it, and you will never go back to an inferior toy. Tip 5 is play it right before you play it fast. I mean by this, don't worry too much about the tempo when you first start a piece. It may say presto for all I know, but just ignore that and play it as slow as you need to get it right. It is so much more important to play it correctly, and then once you play it correctly, you can speed it up. Anything that you can play correctly slowly, you can eventually play it correctly quickly. But if you just try to go straight to quickly, you're gonna mess up and just get some slop and it's gonna be horrible. And playing keyboard will teach you patience. You will make thousands and thousands of mistakes over the years. And each time you make a mistake, you're probably gonna have to go back and slow it down just a little, but be willing to do that. Have patience and you will improve, and eventually you can play it at the appropriate speed for the piece. Tip 6, create a good library of materials to study. These can be books, these can be audio programs, whatever. Just have a good collection. I like books that are actually in paper, not digital format, and I like being able to jump around, work on one for a while, and then when I hit a wall on that one, maybe put it aside for a while, work on these other ones, and then come back to it a month or two later. Just whatever, just being able to have all these options, whatever is fun, whatever is drawing you, whatever will pull you forward, that is the area where you will learn the most easily. So follow that, and eventually you can go back and branch out. But just keep an eye on what brings you the most happiness. Follow your bliss, as Joseph Campbell said. Tip 7, and you may not like this one initially by the way it sounds, but you have to make an effort to learn the formal shit, the formal things that come with playing a piano, learn the music theory and the more exercise related things. So I held off doing hand-in exercises for a long time, and eventually when I got to them I found that I actually love them and they're really fun, and you notice improvement really fast, not just in your dexterity and your coordination, but in your sight reading. There's so many benefits, so I wish I had done that so much earlier. Pick up a copy of the Hand-in books. I'll link to that and other things in the info for this video. But if you don't have that, it's just such a good exercise. But not just that, there's tons of studies, and they're called etudes in French, that will help you enormously. Some of them very easy, like Burgmüller's 25 progressive studies. Other ones like Chopin's etudes, very difficult pieces, but you know, you have to pick the ones for your level. So dive into the ones that you can handle, and I'll give you some more hints below of what you can look for. Tip 8 is to, yes, learn to keep time. And for most of you this means using a metronome. There are mechanical, real metronomes, there are apps, there are mechanical ones that are just a little timer, that's all it does is metronome stuff. Whatever you do, but have some form of being able to keep time with. And not just a metronome though, but also I love books that come with audio that you can play along with, or isolate just the backing track and play the piano over it. Those are so wonderful. Look into those. However you do it though, you need to learn to work with time. Another idea is to record yourself and see later how it sounds, because when you're playing, a lot of times you can't be totally objective. Tip 9 is to keep track of your musical ideas. I know you may think that you're just starting out as a musician, but you still get ideas, and they may be cool things that you can use later on if you write music or whatever. You may not even have the ability at this point to notate correctly. What you can always do is use your phone and record yourself, or hum it, or sing it, or whatever. Just get it across so that later, when you are a more experienced musician, you can go back and see if it has any value. It may not, who knows, but just keep it. It will help you see your development too as a musician. And the final 10th tip is to keep learning and keep having fun. If you're not having fun, what's the point? Expand your mind, be omnivorous. Whatever you're working on, if you're not enjoying it, just try something else. The piano has so many possibilities, so many genres to explore, so many different techniques, and so many different new things that you may be the one to discover. New experimental techniques, who knows? Just have fun with it, enjoy yourself, try all kinds of different things, and think of yourself as a complete musician. One day you will be one of the greats. I believe that, and I hope you will continue your journey into pianoing. If you enjoyed this video, check out my others and subscribe. I hope to do more piano videos in the future.